Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? Oh man, we got a good one coming up this weekend. There's a couple of good fights this weekend. Of course, we have Jerron Boots Ennis versus Romain Villa. Gonna talk a little bit more about that before the actual fight takes place, July 8th, this Saturday. Then you also have a very meaningful fight. This is two very meaningful welterweight fights, but in this video, we're doing a final prediction for VERGIL Ortiz versus EIMANTAS STANIONIS. Now, this is a fight that has been in the works. It's been done for at least a year now, but VERGIL Ortiz had some medical situations. He had a condition that knocked him out of camp, I believe, 2 times. They had 2 other fight dates dating back all the way to March of last year, I believe. And, you know, this fight has been in the making for some time, in a highly anticipated fight just within the welterweight division. 2 undefeated fighters, 2 guys that are going to be put in a position to prove that they're ready for the next level, that they're more ready for a title opportunity than the guy that they're facing. We all know that Earl the Truth Spence Jr. versus Terrence Bud Crawford is scheduled to take place later this month on July 29th for Undisputed, all the belts on the line. Of course, they have a bi-directional rematch clause, so we don't know how long those titles are going to be held up, but these fights that are taking place, Jerron Boots Ennis versus Romain Villa, Rashidi Ellis, who Villa beat, is still in the mix, of course. EIMANTAS STANIONIS versus VERGIL Ortiz. EIMANTAS STANIONIS actually holds the regular WBA title, which puts him in direct succession of, you know, the Super Championship title. You dig what I'm saying? That Earl Spence holds. Now, if VERGIL Ortiz wins this fight, he jumps the line and puts himself, he becomes the regular champion, but then puts himself in direct line of fire to be able to get that opportunity to fight for the Super Championship, to either be elevated or fight for it when it becomes available. So this is a very meaningful fight, a very meaningful weekend for the welterweight division this year. So let's talk about this fight. You have EIMANTAS STANIONIS, who, you know, had a great, a very entertaining fight and a good performance versus Butayev. That was a great fight. Butayev, you know, had some really good victories, positioned himself to be in a title eliminator situation versus EIMANTAS STANIONIS. And, of course, VERGIL Ortiz, he's coming off of Mean Machine victory. You know, he beat Maurice Hooker. VERGIL Ortiz has some very impressive victories, 19-0 with 19 knockouts. If you look at the way he's been moved in his career, they haven't been moving VERGIL Ortiz like they're afraid to test him and put him in with good competition. They did, you know, seem kind of reluctant when it came to Jerron Boots Ennis, but they have been. I like the way VERGIL Ortiz's team has been building him, testing him, putting him in the ring with guys that could actually show him something. I mean, early on in his career, he fighting guys like Orozco, who was undefeated for a long time. You know, been in the ring with Mauricio Herrera. He's seen a lot of different things, and I'm just excited about the maturation process of VERGIL Ortiz and what he could accomplish going forward, especially if he's able to defeat EIMANTAS STANIONIS. I just love the potential of VERGIL Ortiz. I think he has a bright future and, you know, could really do a lot of big things in the sport. And the same thing for EIMANTAS STANIONIS, a very strong fighter, very skilled fighter, and got a lot of heart, got a lot of dog. He's kind of like a machine, you know what I'm saying? Throws punches in bunches. If you look at the size, the tail of the tape, VERGIL Ortiz is 5'10", got 71-inch reach. And EIMANTAS STANIONIS 5'8", with I believe 68 or 69-inch reach. So it's not a huge difference in reach, even though, you know, Ortiz has a couple of inches height advantage. And both of these guys, they can fight on the inside. Both guys have a lot of offense. And I think this is one of those fights where if you want to see a knockout, if you want to see punches and bunches thrown, if you want to see heavy offense, if you want to see a lot of back and forth, brutal fighting ability with skill, this is the fight that you want to watch. So for EIMANTAS STANIONIS, keys to victory. Keys to victory for him in this fight, in my opinion, is to, number one, he going to have to use his jab because he's going to have the shorter reach in this fight. He's going to be the guy that wants to keep the fight on the inside. Even though VERGIL ORTIZ is a fantastic inside fighter, EIMANTAS STANIONIS isn't the best when it comes to mid-range or boxing from the outside or boxing off of the back foot or anything like that. He's a decent fighter fighting up close and in the mid-range when it comes to exchanging. But if it turns into somewhat of a chess match, I wouldn't want to see EIMANTAS STANIONIS long or like that extended mid-range. I wouldn't want to see him in at those distances for an extended period of time, not versus a guy like Ortiz, who you don't want to be at the end of his punches. You know what I'm saying? So keys to victory for EIMANTAS STANIONIS: use his jab and establish the comfortable range, which is going to be pretty much in the pocket, on the inside, the same way he fought Butayev. That's where he want to be because he got a great chin. He's strong as hell. He got power on his punches, and his punches are very, especially in the pocket, he can mix them up with the best of them on the inside in the pocket. That's where EIMANTAS STANIONIS want to keep this fight at. And then go to the body. He gonna have, while he on the inside in the pocket, he gonna have to go to the body early and often versus Ortiz, because Ortiz is the type of guy who has a great jab, who gonna get strong as the fight go on, got a lot of stamina, got a decent chin himself, very relentless fighter. The only way you really gonna slow him down, if you can't move off the back foot and evade him, you gonna have to go to his body early and often and try to break him down and slow him down. So if the fight does get past 7, 8, 9, you don't want this guy strong as hell throwing hella punches while you trying to recover and shit and you running out of stamina. So keys to victory for EIMANTAS STANIONIS: use his jab in order to close that range. Once you get into that range, which is going to be in the pocket on the inside, go to the body early and often. That's going to be the keys for STANIONIS. For VERGIL ORTIZ, I think VERGIL ORTIZ is the more dynamic fighter of the two. I think he has more tools in the toolbox. I think he can fight at mid-range really well. He can fight at long range because he has a great jab that's, it's a strong power jab. It could keep you at bay. It could keep you at the end of his punches, which is where he really wants you. Now, he can also fight on the inside in the pocket, up close and personal, exchanging, throwing hellacious body shots, shots to the head and to the body. Got a really nice uppercut, got a great left hook, a really solid overhand or crossing right hand. VERGIL ORTIZ can really fight at every distance. We haven't seen him have to move backwards very often, so it's going to be interesting if STANIONIS can push him backwards and make him fight off the back foot. But VERGIL ORTIZ, with his jab, he does have the ability to fight at a range and move backwards subtly and still be able to get his shots off. A very athletic fighter, VERGIL ORTIZ. So with him being more dynamic, he has more options to be able to choose different ranges that he want to fight this fight at. Knowing that STANIONIS is only really effective up close and personal in the pocket with you, I like VERGIL ORTIZ. Keys to victory here: number one, establishing range, using his jab to establish a longer extended mid-range so he can use that arm reach advantage to keep STANIONIS at the end of his punches. I also like VERGIL ORTIZ to use the jab to the head and to the body. Of course, I want to see him go to the body in this fight as well. Body work is always important, especially when you got two guys with a lot of offense. You want to be able to slow that offense down. One of the best ways to do that is to attack the body and just wear them down so they can't put out all that offense. You know what I'm saying? So VERGIL ORTIZ established the range, that extended mid-range, keep them at the end of your punches, go to the body, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities for Ortiz to land his, again, 19 wins, 19 knockouts. There's going to be a lot of opportunities to land them big power shots. All I ask from Vergil Ortiz is keys to victory. Make those punches count. You know what I'm saying? Be accurate with your shots. That's a major key for Vergil Ortiz. Be accurate with those shots because he's going to have a lot of opportunities with Stanionis being right in front of him. Make those shots count. If he does that, if both of these guys do what they supposed to do as far as keys to victory, I think the fighter that will prevail will be Vergil Ortiz. I think Vergil Ortiz is just, he going to be the bigger. I don't know if he going to necessarily be the stronger guy, but he's younger. That could play a factor, but Stanionis ain't no old guy. So he going to have a lot of vigor, a lot of strength, a lot of willpower. He's undefeated as well again. Don't know how to lose yet. So both of these guys gonna give it they all, man, and bring a lot of ferocity to this matchup. But I really like Vergil Ortiz simply because he's gonna be a bigger guy. He's gonna have more options as far as the range and the distance. I think he'll be able to keep Stanionis at a nice range, so Stanionis will try to close the distance and get on the inside. But I think he's gonna find himself lunging in, falling short, and getting hit with big ass left hooks, uppercuts, and crossing right hands from Vergil Ortiz. I like Vergil Ortiz by the stoppage. I think Vergil Ortiz stops EIMANTAS Stanionis. I don't know if it's gonna be like a cold knockout just because Stanionis is a strong motherfucker, and I think he got great punch resistance. I would be highly impressed if Vergil Ortiz was able to hit Stanionis with one shot and knock him out. I don't see that happening. It's possible though because he's gonna be right there. But I think Vergil Ortiz stops EIMANTAS Stanionis due to accumulation of ass whooping. I think is he gonna maybe like the 8th or 9th round, the ref or the doctor, somebody gonna have to stop this fight because Stanionis ain't gonna quit, and it's gonna be an accumulation of ass whooping, and don't nobody want to see that man, stand there and take all that ass whooping like that. I think Vergil Ortiz get him out of there at 8 or 9 rounds. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. How do y'all see this fight going? What's your keys to victory for both fighters, and what's your final prediction? We might do a pre-fight live or just a pre-weekend live, maybe like Friday or something like that. We'll see how it go, just to kind of give our last and final thoughts on the Jaron Boots Ennis and Romain Villiers fight, and then also this fight as well, because these are two very important fights for the younger generation at welterweight, who's going to take over the division after Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence moves up to 154. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Contender Regime Boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.